Hi, happy International Women's Day. As you probably know, March is Women's History Month, and on the 8th of every March, we celebrate International Women's Day. I'll be spotlighting and sharing my thoughts on works by strong female, spotlighting Jennifer Lopez's latest 2024 film, which coincides with the release of an album by the same title, This Is Me Now, a Love Story. This Is Me Now is part of a 3-part project described as a narrative-driven musical film that documents Lopez's love life, her search for love, and her eventual reunion with Ben Affleck, who she's now married to. Lopez co-wrote this film with her writing partners Ben Affleck and Chris Schaefer, and the film was directed by her longtime collaborators, who's also directed some of her other music videos, director Dave Meyers. The film also boasts an impressive cast of fun cameos by people like Fat Joe, Trevor Noah, Jane Fonda, Post Malone, Keke Palmer, and Sofia Vergara. This visual album is one of 3 components. The first is, I believe, which is Jennifer Lopez's 9th studio album, which is a follow-up to her 2002 This Is Me Then. The album's called This Is Me Now. The second component of this project is the visual album itself, This Is Me Now, a Love Story. The third component is a documentary about the making of the visual album, and it includes Ben Affleck. It was based on a collection of letters that Affleck apparently sent to Lopez throughout their first courtship. All 3 components of this project were self-funded by Lopez with a reported budget of over $20 million. I like the film. At first glance, I was afraid that it was going to be a little cringy because J-Lo has a tendency to be kind of corny when it comes around to romanticism and her ideas of love. But soon, after watching a segment of 2, I started getting into it. I started getting into the storytelling. The songs were catchy but not very memorable, but it was entertaining, and not to mention the fact that the film is visually stunning. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to watch. It kind of puts me in the mind of Beyonce's Lemonade. Of course, her visual album that she put out about the breakdown of or the trouble that she and her husband Jay-Z were having in their marriage. I'm sure that's what J-Lo was going for, a Lemonade type confessional visual album. There were 2 segments in particular that I really enjoyed. The first one is called Rebound, which is a musical number, of course, that's based on her marriage with singer-actor Mark Anthony, who's the father of her twins. I remember it was reported that during her marriage to Mark Anthony, who was apparently in love with her for years before things went south with Ben the first time and she ran to him, hence the title of the song Rebound. But it was reported at the time in the tabloids that Anthony could be quite possessive, and it's heavily implied here that the relationship got physically violent at some points too. And I was surprised to see how much anger that J-Lo still seems to have for Anthony. So that was a very telling segment of the film. Another one of my favorite segments in this film had the most cameos, with Jane Fonda, Keke Palmer, Post Malone, Trevor Noah playing. Each one of them portrayed an astrological sign, because anybody who knows just a little about J-Lo knows she's heavy into astrological signs. But each of these actors played the different astrological signs who's looking down on earth at J-Lo and her love shenanigans, and just giving some colorful commentary in their opinions. So I enjoyed that part of the film also. Like I said, most of the events depicted here you probably read about in the tabloids, or even heard something about it from J-Lo herself, with because I believe she previously wrote a book called Love. So she's been always very transparent about her love life and what I would call her love addiction. But this was just, I think, just a more creative way of depicting some of the things we probably already know about some of her past loves. But I do appreciate the fact that she was very transparent here and seemed to put her whole heart and soul into the project. So regardless of what you think about J-Lo as a person, I happen to not be a huge fan of her because I find her to be quite narcissistic and self-involved. But she's a strong woman. You know, if you choose to watch the documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, which of course is based on, it was, I think, inspired by letters that Affleck wrote to her during their courtship in the early 2000s. You know, he's in that documentary very heavily, and it was good to see their interaction with each other, not just hearing about it through the tabloids. Hearing kind of his side of the story. Of course, this whole film and the whole project is about her side of the story. They seem to be in a really healthy place. If you know anything about Ben Affleck, he is an alcoholic, so he has an addiction to alcohol. While J-Lo doesn't quite come out and say it, she has an addiction to love. But Jennifer Lopez's This Is Me Now, a Love Story, is visually stunning and quite entertaining. So if you get a chance, check it out. You can catch it streaming on Amazon Prime. Thank you for watching, and please be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification button to get notified about more content from this channel. Thank you. Until next time.